All right, so here's where we're at today. We got the roof cut off last couple weeks ago, last couple episodes back. If you haven't seen that, go back and look for it. I'll link it in the description. We got the roof sectioned into the different pieces so that we can put it back on and fill in the gaps to make it fit like it's supposed to. We did that in the last episode, which I'll post up here. And now we've got to start refitting everything. But the John Deere lost a starter solenoid again the other day. That's 2 in a year. I don't know what its deal is. So I got to work on that. And the tow rig has a dent in the tailgate I've got to fix. It had one of those caps on the top of the bed, or the top of the tailgate, one of those aluminum caps, and I got rid of it because I'm going to rhino line it, or line exit actually. But I took that off and there was 2 dents in there. So I got to fix those before it goes over to get bed lined. So we've got to work on that, but we're going to cut off the 2 pieces we had done. We had tacked on the couple of the corners. We did one here, and then we did the other one over here. And of course, this one wasn't trimmed at all, so it's all wonky, crooked, and everything, so it's not a big deal. So it has to come off anyway. But today, I'm going to work on these other projects for a little bit. And I'll come back here, we'll cut those off, and I think I might even take some more out of it before I put it back together. I'm thinking I might need to go another 1 or 2 inches, just kind of get it a little lower, make it a little more evil looking. So anyway, we'll cut everything off, we'll look at it again, and we'll probably time-lapse fitting everything back together. And hopefully next couple of days I can start getting this all wound up, get the roof back on it, and then start making the filler pieces. I did get, I got a sheet of 18 gauge so I can make all my patches. So we got that. I got some new toys for the TIG. I got a swivel torch head so I can work in weird out of place, you know, like in cages and stuff. And what was the other thing I got? Oh, I got some Pyrex glass gas lenses. So you can see a little bit better. I'm at that bifocal age, and so I've got to get better vision when I'm working. And these glass cups illuminate your puddle a lot better from what everybody online is saying. So I got some, found them on Amazon. I'm going to try them out, see how they do. So anyway, yeah, going to get these cut off, and we'll look at it and see about maybe taking some more out, and then we'll restart fitting things back together. So let's get at it. So I got my helper Dakota with me today. He's out here going to help out, hang out in the garage, aren't you, buddy? Yes, you are a good shop dog. Yes. He's trying to advise me on whether or not we should take some more out of this. I cut the little tack welds I had on here so we could straighten this up, and now you can see we're pretty much where we need to be. And what I did was I had a little piece of square stock, and you can see right here, I just cut a piece about 4 inches long, and I slid it down into the A-pillar here. Then I used the top of it sticking out to slide this down over. And of course my marks are still here. And I used the drip edge to help line me up. So all I have to do is lay this in here like so, and I can rotate this around where I want it. And then of course you can put your straight edge on it and see if you're lined up front, you know, if you have the right angle, in other words. I don't know what I'm trying to say today, but that's okay. So anyway, so now the quandary becomes, we've got 5 inches out of it right now, and I'm going to sit you down for a second back here so you can kind of enormous. So I think they need to be just, you know, cut. I had a Sharpie drawn right where my foot is. So you can see if we were to, I'm stuck, if we were to cut right about there across, that would basically take 20 inches out of the, actually I'm sorry, that'll take, No, I think it is 20 inches. I measured it once. Anyway, it'll lower the thing about 20 inches closer to the ground. I mean, it's just going to put it in the weeds. So, and there's still leg room, because if you look at the firewall, the firewall tucks back at just about that, just below where actually just above, I'm sorry, just above where I marked with my foot. There's a rib, you can't really see it, but there's a rib right here that runs on the inner kick panels and the doors. It runs all the way across, so it's kind of like a line of sight. You can look, when you look inside of it, you can see it over in the far, right about center of my screen. It runs right just below where the firewall starts kicking backwards, and it runs across the door. So if we were to cut it there, that would really slam this thing. And then I'm going to put a floor in it anyway. So at this point, it doesn't matter, because this all this floor is coming out, all of it. So if we lower the roof another 3, and then we cut it where I showed you on the doors, that's really going to put this thing down in the weeds. And I think that's what I want to do. I don't want anything that anybody can look at and go, oh yeah, all you did was a chop top, big deal, or you took a little bit out, a couple inches here or there, sectioning it, big deal. I want something that's just people are going to look at and go, holy crap, what did this guy do? Just totally off the wall. So I think that's going to be the battle plan. So I've got this left front A-pillar is pretty squared up, and I got the roof section in pretty good shape. The other side I have to cut yet because it's still tacked from, a week ago or whenever I did that. So I'm going to cut that loose. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure down my A-pillars. I'll just take it out of the A-pillar. I'm not going to take it out of the roof section. I'll take it out of the actual cab itself. And we'll drop it another, 3 inches, I guess. And that'll still give me plenty of room to see out. And then I'm going to pull this race seat out, and I think we're just going to put bomber seats in it. I don't need a full-size race seat if I'm not going to race this one. So I'll just keep that seat for the Model B, and we'll put bomber seats in this, lap belts, and I have a main hoop. We can put that in it, and then a set of kickers, off that. I might even put swing out door bars in it. So, it'll have some protection, in case it gets on its roof or whatever, but hopefully that never happens. So I think that's the plan. We're going to cut it and shorten it up some more and see what that looks like. So we'll time lapse this once I'll get everything set up. I'm going to pause it for now. I'll get everything set up and then I'll hit it, and we'll time lapse the cuts, and then we'll start fitting it back together, and I'll bring it back. Hang out. this is the part where every one of you are going to go, he's lost his bloody mind. He's completely gone over the edge. He's taken 8 inches out of a roof. That's never been done. He's just an idiot. Here's a moment of truth. Let's see how she looks. Slide our little plug down in here and kind of line it up. Right about there. And that is where she's going to sit now. I can put a couple of rosette welds on each side of my alignment, and that'll get her straight. And that'll hold it. What do you think? She's a little bit lower now. We took some more off the top. I'm kind of digging it personally. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little plug here and I'm going to drill it. I'm going to clean this edge up. Drill 2 holes, spot weld these back in so this is permanent. Then I'm going to drill a couple holes right here. I have to be careful because I start getting into lead down in here. So I basically just got this little area here to work with from here to here. But then I'll drop this back in, set my alignment where I want. It's actually pretty close right now just by dropping it in. I really don't have to tune on it much, just a little bit. I can actually make this the way it sits right now. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I like it. I know it's a bit extreme. I know you purists are going to be like, what an idiot. But you know what? It's a rat rod. It's what I like. It's what I want. This is actually about the alignment right here that we're going to need. So it'll take just a tiny bit of tweaking, but not much. So, but she's pretty much on par. So there it is. We've successfully taken 8 inches out of it. So yeah, she's going to sit low. It's going to give us about a 7-inch windshield, about the same on the sides. Obviously that seat's not going to work now, so we're going to have to put some bombers in it. But yeah, she's going to be low. So I'm going to get my holes drilled and get that tacked into place just to hold it. And we'll be back. There, so a couple of tacks to hold it. That'll get us started for now. So notice I tacked right in the little area between rather than the actual hole I drilled, because that's where I'm going to final weld it once I'm happy with the fit. Right now I can go in and real shallow cut, take that apart if I need to move anything around, but I think we're pretty close to where we want to be. I may twist it a little bit to line that gutter up a little bit better, but at least it's kind of in the ballpark, and I can start fitting the rest of it together. And then once I get everything else fitted, then I'll come back and I'll put them together and tweak it. So, but anyway, I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so I wanted to show you something. UPS guy showed up. Sorry, I had to run and get some stuff. But I had a problem with this burning in right here, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I realized that's lead. I actually got a little bit too low, and the lead, when they put this seam together, it starts right about here. You can see this little crack. And they leaded it from here, and they kind of just smear it up. Well, the edge of it got clear up to here, and it actually started melting out when I was welding it. And you can see where it ran down right there. But it's still, I got it in there solid, so I'm going to clean this up just a little bit and just hit it here and here like I did on the other side, just so it's kind of in place. And then I can fine tune it, because there will still be room to jiggle it around, but it'll at least be tacked. So let's get that done real quick. Okay, done. Sweet. Check that off the list of today's stuff. Hang this back up. Shut off my gas. So the UPS guy's been asking about this Alpha TIG 225 that I just got, and I was telling him how much I love it. And it is a sweet machine. I have done a little bit of everything with it, just playing. And man, it freaking rocks. So I am very happy with that TIG welder. And it's going to come in handy as we start building things like the fuel cell and whatnot. So there we go. We got both sides tacked on. We've got a total of 8 inches out. It's going to leave us with roughly a, we'll call it a 7.5 inch windshield, roughly, a little under, about 7 1/4. So be enough to see. It'll be kind of cool. So anyway, that's it for the moment. I need to start figuring out how much I want to take out of the back so I can put a little bit of a slope in it. So we'll trim things up a little bit, and then I'll start fitting the back halves and see what we're gonna end up with there. So anyway, I'm gonna end this one for now. I'll get it spliced together tonight, get it up. We'll probably be back at it again tomorrow. Got a couple nice days coming. I got a couple appointments, but they don't take all day, so we'll be okay. But anyway, that's how you slam the roof on the 53. So you know the drill. If you're new, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff that everybody tells you to do. And we'll see you again tomorrow.